Good afternoon, folks. Cumberland Outdoorsman here with you again, and hoping that y'all are having a good summer. What I'm doing today is I'm taking a little break from the fishing activities, and I'm going to do a little bit of shooting with my rimfires. I've got a variety of rimfires here on the table behind me, and a multitude of targets behind me as well, and they're set up at varying ranges. I've got some steel targets and some water-filled containers that we're going to just have some fun with. So we're just going to have a little summertime 22 fun today. And I'm breaking out some of these guns that I've already featured in some of my previous videos. And this one here I haven't shown yet. This is a Remington Model 581 that has an upgraded stock. This one here is an actual walnut stock that I ordered aftermarket. It was just a blank, and I finished it, shaped it and finished it and checkered it and everything, and gave it the grip cap and also the fore-end tip. And it's very similar to the Model 541S type stock, but this one actually has real rosewood, and the walnut is not select grade, but it's pretty good grade walnut. But anyway, we're going to be shooting this little rifle. I haven't shown this one yet. It's topped with a Bausch & Lomb Balvar 2.5 by 8 power. And this one is also mounted with the older style vintage Burris scope rings, 1-inch scope rings. And it really makes for a very attractive little package. Okay. Squirrel season starts in late August here in Tennessee, but I just thought I'd get some of my rimfires out just to kind of have a little fun with them and get used to shooting again. I usually practice quite a bit before the season starts, whether it's archery season for deer or squirrel season. It just behooves you to get out and practice with the equipment that you're going to use. So let me show you what I've got here on the table. Some of these guns I haven't shown before, and some of them I have, like this little rifle and the Marlin Model 60 that I featured in some previous videos. This one is a Remington 581. It's been customized. And by the way, I didn't mention, when I first bought this gun, it came with a rather ordinary plain stock, and it was in real bad shape. So I just decided to replace it with a nice walnut stock. I tore all the metal down and polished it down to a 1000 grit finish and had it professionally reblued. And that's a really good shooting gun. This one here is a fairly new acquisition. This is a Winchester Model 52. This is a rather high-end gun. I had to refinish the stock too on this one because it was in pretty bad shape. But anyway, it turned out pretty well. This is a elite series of rifles that Winchester came out with. It has high-quality sling swivels, a very smooth operating bolt, adjustable trigger. The detachable magazine is right here at the bottom. You just push this button and the magazine pops out. And it's flush mounted, which is something I really like to carry in the woods. It has a steel butt plate and grip cap, 22 line per inch checkering, which I went ahead and redone since I refinished the stock. And the metal I didn't have to do much to. It's in really good condition as far as the metal goes. But we'll see how well that little gun shoots. And then I've got the older Remington Speedmaster 552. And then here's an old Remington 511. That's a really good shooting gun right there. Very, very accurate. And of course the Marlin Model 60, which you've seen before. And here is another new acquisition. This is a Ruger Mark IV competition, and I topped it off with a Redfield scope. And we'll see how well it shoots. We'll be using this one later on in the video, but I just wanted to show it. See, it has a detachable 10-round magazine as well. This is not really a gun review. We're just going to get out here and have some fun with some 22s. I've got a variety of ammunition here, some that I've wanted to try, and some of this is just recently came out, like this SK semi-auto rifle. And here's some Ely subsonic hollow point. I think this will be good for small game. And then I've got this SK long range match and a few others, but we'll give them all a try in various guns and see how well they perform at distances out to 100 yards. Got some targets set up down here. As you can see, I know it's kind of dark under those trees, but as I zoom in, everything should clear up. I've got several steel targets in the background that I just recently made and acquired myself. There's a wild boar, a bear, and a couple of squirrels, and hiding right there behind the orange targets there's a Sasquatch, believe it or not. And way down there at 100 yards we've got a buffalo. Now, the 22 Rimfire doesn't have enough power to knock down those big heavy targets, but we should do pretty well on the smaller targets like the rabbit and the squirrels. They should be able to be knocked down. But first of all, let me do an accuracy check, and we'll shoot at the target, 50-yard target there, to see how well this Winchester Model 52 performs. I haven't had much chance to test it yet, but we're going to give it a try today. First, we're going to load up some of these SK long range match bullets into the Winchester 52. 5 rounds to begin with. I'm not sure where it's going to hit. I sighted it in with CCI standard velocity, but we'll see where it hits with these. Okay, we'll get some of the boring stuff out of the way first. I want to see where this little rifle's going to hit at 50 yards. And then we'll get into the fun part. It's got a little bit more pop than a standard velocity loading, I believe. Okay, all those shots hit high because of the higher velocity. I'm going to suspect that this rifle will shoot well with a variety of different 22 ammunition. It's just one of those guns that is so well built that no matter what you put in it, it's going to shoot quite well. The barrel's very well constructed. The action is super rigid. It's a little bit of a heavy gun for a 22. But you know, that just adds more stability. I'll be going through this gun a little bit more in the future, near future, and give you a little bit more of an honest opinion. Okay, what I want to try now, something I've been real curious about, is this Aguila standard velocity super extra. So we're going to try it out in my little Remington Model 511, and I'll be shooting some shots offhand just to see how well that little gun likes this ammunition. So far I've been pretty well impressed with the Aguila ammunition. Load it. This is an old gun, by the way. This rifle was built in 1947 and it's still running real strong, as you'll see in just a moment. That's the wild boar at 50 yards. That's a really small target. Shoot offhand, but I got it. Try the swinging target. Let me zoom in on those. Okay, knock the rabbit down. Now we're going to try a few other targets here. We'll go with a swinging target, the one on the right. Now the one on the left. Now there's a squirrel sitting up there on top of that stump there. I'm going to try and hit it in the head there. And then there's another one right behind it. Just a little bit higher, right above that pop can there. That wild boar in the head there, we'll give it a try. And it's empty. Okay, next we're going to try the Ruger Mark IV on the cans there at 25 yards. There's 3 cans sitting on top of that log there. Missed that shot. All right. Okay, here's a Ruger Mark IV at 50 yards. Shooting swinging target. Missed that one. Sure where it's hitting there. Okay, it's hitting a little bit low, so let me try the next shot, aiming just a tad high. Yep. Okay, other swinging target off to the left. And that was the last shot. Who says you can't use a pistol at 50 yards? Well, folks, next I'm going to try this little Marlin Model 60 that I upgraded in the previous video. We'll see how well it does on these water-filled cans down here. Shooting Winchester 22 long rifle hollow point. Time to reload. Need to get settled down a little bit. That's why we're out here, is to practice and get used to these guns again. Alright, gun's empty. I'll tell you, in all honesty, shooting offhand is probably the hardest position. And as you can see, those are pretty small targets way down there. If you're going to use your guns for hunting like I do, always try to use a rest, you know, the side of a tree or a log or something that you can rest your gun on. I really don't like to shoot offhand at game. But for the purpose of this little video, just to have some fun with a 22 and get used to it again, I'll be shooting some offhand shots as well. Next I'm going to load up my little Remington Speedmaster. And I wanted to try this SK auto rifle, semi-auto rifle, 22 long rifle ammo. We'll see how well it performs in that gun. Okay, I'll be shooting at the dark orange target at the bottom corner. I have no idea where these are going to hit. Well folks, here's a really good example of why you need to test different 22 type ammunition in your gun, okay, no matter what you own. I always used to consider this rifle relatively inaccurate. I tried this stuff, and let me tell you, it is undoubtedly the most accurate 22 ammo I've ever fed through this rifle. All 10 shots went into a circle like that at 50 yards with this gun, which tells me that's the ammunition for this gun, and that's what I'll be using if I take this rifle squirrel hunting this fall. Give this stuff a try. If you own a 552 Speedmaster or any of the other semi-automatic older rifles, the older Remingtons and Winchesters or whatever, give this stuff a try. This is really good stuff. The Standard Plus and the Wolf ammo is really good as well. I mean, it's almost unbeatable, to be honest with you. I really want to try this Ely Subsonic a little bit more in my Remington 581 because I think it's got quite a bit of potential. So we're going to give this a try now. I got another row of cans down here. As you can see, those are at 40 yards, and there's 6 of them. So I've got 5 bullets here. Get these loaded up and we'll see how well it performs on those cans. This is using a hollow point ammunition. Ely Subsonic hollow point. Never used this stuff before. But we're going to give it a try today. One can left. The sound of that bullet smacking those cans is louder than the gun going off, but that's Ely subsonic. I'll be getting some more of this. I'm really curious about it. Ely has always been traditionally known as very accurate .22 ammunition. So let's go for some of the bigger targets and see. We still got the buffalo way down range, and I want to use that 552 again on that. I know how well this gun shoots. I mean, it's just a real tack driver, and I'll show you just how accurate it'll shoot by the end of the video. So I'm going to put it aside and load up my 552 here. I'm just going to put 5 rounds in here for now. I'm really impressed with this. I was thinking about selling this gun, but I wanted to give it a chance, and I'm glad I did. Okay. I'm going to zoom in on those targets and show you what's downrange. Okay, here we go. Shooting at the buffalo at 100 yards. And next we got, I know there's a Sasquatch hiding down there somewhere. Let's see where that guy's at. Oh, there he is. Yeah, I see him. He's hiding behind the other targets, folks. Perfect shot. And we'll try the bear. Okay, now I'm going to shoot this Ruger Mark IV again at long distance. First I'm going to shoot at the wild boar. Now the buffalo. I think I heard a hit there. Now for the swinging target. And we're empty. Tell you what, I'm really impressed with this little Ruger Mark IV. I bought this a few years ago, and I was so impressed with the accuracy using open sights that I decided to put a scope on it, and boy, that really that really impressed me. The only way I can improve on this gun is maybe to put a lighter trigger in here, but I almost kind of hate to fool with it. I mean, it shoots pretty well as it is. The one thing I really like about it is how easy it is to take down. You know, you just push that button there on the back, lift the action out, and you're ready to clean the gun. I mean, you can clean the bolt face, inside the action, the barrel, everything. It's quite an improvement because I've got a Ruger Mark III that's much more difficult. This is probably the easiest takedown gun there is. And once again, you push this button right here, lift up on it, and lift the action up. By the way, the hammer needs to be cocked and the safety needs to be on in order to take it apart. And you just put it back on the hinge on the front there and snap it into place, and it's ready to go. Action's open, magazine's empty. Incidentally, let me give Ruger a compliment. That gun, shortly after I purchased it, was given a notice for a recall. Well, I was sent a box by Ruger after I contacted them, and I packaged the gun up and sent it on a Monday, and I got the gun back on Saturday. They did the upgrade, sent the gun back, and included an extra magazine with the gun. Now that's good customer service. That's taking care of your customers and the firearms that you produce. You know, if you had that kind of service with other products, it'd be a much better world. But my compliments to Ruger on that. They did very well, and they've got a fine shooting gun there. Next, I'm going to be doing a little bit more accuracy testing with my Remington Model 511, because I really want to get it out in the woods and hunt with it some this year. You know, I haven't taken it out as much as I should have, and that's really what I want to try to focus on. I'm going to check the accuracy using these, once again, these Ely subsonic hollow points. I'm really impressed with these. But we'll see how well they perform in that gun, and then we'll make a decision whether or not to use that gun or that ammunition in that particular rifle this year. Okay, we got her loaded up, and here we go. This is shooting at 50 yards. And I'll be aiming at the bright orange target at the top, just next, the second one, just next to the first one there. I think I'm right in there around the bullseye. This is only a 4-power scope, so I'm trying to keep the crosshairs hovering right at the bullseye. Walk down here and see what we got. Okay, those first 5 shots went into about a quarter size group. Here's 5 more shots at the same distance, same target. Okay, that's not too bad accuracy. It's fairly consistent, staying within about an inch or so at 50 yards. You can see most of those shots fell just a little bit a little bit high, maybe a quarter of an inch high or so. But next I'm going to shoot 5 shots out of this Remington 581 at the target right below it, right below the previous target. And we'll see how well it performs. Well, as you can see, that gun is a stellar performer. Well, I shot 5 shots with the Winchester Model 52 at that bottom target, and they hit just a little bit high, so I'm going to go for the next target over the light orange target at the bottom, at the very corner. So we'll see where these print. Take a look and see what we got here. To close off the video, after we do all the accuracy testing and shooting at steel targets, I'm going to shoot these remaining 3 water-filled cans with my little 511 using the Winchester hollow points. And so here we go. We're going to be going from left to right. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that little shooting session I just did. I've been wanting to get these 22 rifles out. I've got several more in my collection. I just wanted to get them out and try some different brands of ammo and different styles and the various guns that I have. I hope you had a little bit of fun watching that too, because I always try to add a little bit of fun with the shooting sessions. From the accuracy shooting, you can see here that most of the shots were pretty well centered, you know, in different guns. The most impressive being this one, of course, was the Remington 581, but I already knew that that was a really good shooting gun. That's 10 shots right there, all clustered right there together. One printed just a tad high, and I believe that was the first shot, but I'm not sure. But all the rest of them are pretty well tied together. Their little Remington 511 printed that group right there using the Ely hollow points, subsonic hollow points, and this one here is using the Remington 22 subsonics, which is a relatively inexpensive cartridge. One went a little bit high there, but the rest of them, you know, pretty well right there together. That's not too bad at 50 yards. Actually, you know, when you put these targets up and you look at them with a naked eye at 50 yards, they're very, very small. So the accuracy you can see is quite good. The one group that really impressed me the most, and the one that I was pleasantly surprised to see, was this one down here at the bottom, that Remington 552. These were the first 5 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I loaded 5 more, and all of them went into one little cluster right there, right at the bullseye. I mean, all those bullets are touching. That's impressive, you know, for a little semi-automatic 22. As I mentioned, I was seriously considering selling that gun because it didn't really shoot all that well. But after seeing that, you know, I'm inclined to change my mind. But anyway, the Winchester 52 here shot much higher using higher velocity ammunition. And then I shot another group, I believe this was it right here, at 50 yards with that Winchester 52. And that's 4 shots right there within a quarter of an inch. Those two going almost through the same hole. I'm still going to do some, you know, experimenting with that rifle to see which ammunition that it actually prefers the most. I know it's going to shoot well. It's just built too well to, you know, to not perform the way I want it to. But right now is the time, you know, before the season, to get your guns out and also to get your archery equipment out and start practicing, because before you know it, the season's going to be here, you know. So right now is the time to get out here and check your equipment and do a little bit of practicing before the season comes around. That way you'll be ready when the time comes. So anyway, thanks for watching. I really enjoyed having you with me today. Hope you got something out of this. And get out there and shoot your 22. You know, no matter what you have, experiment with different brands of ammunition and different styles, and you'll find the right combination for your particular gun. And that's the one you need to stick with. So until next time, folks, this is a Cumberland Outdoorsman once again saying thanks. And if you can get outdoors and you like to hunt, fish, camp, hike, or whatever it is, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And also remember, hit the like button, hit that bell icon, and subscribe. That way you'll know when more videos like this will be coming your way. So until next time, y'all take care and stay safe out there. We'll see you.